We feel like, 6:30, we want to be timely in and out. I am Susan Nicolazzo Dollarton. I'm a math teacher here in the building, as well as co-coordinator to student activities with my partner in crime next door here.
I'm Beth Coffey. I'm a Spanish teacher here and the other half of the student activities. Thank you so much for taking your time to come with us tonight. This is a really exciting part of the year. I'm hoping you're feeling excited, probably a little nervous, probably a little emotional. There's a lot of fun things. There's not a lot of school left, but it is packed with activities. So thank you for coming. There are some just important timeline things that we do need to go over. Everything is in the packet, but we're going to hit the most common questions we hear to hopefully eliminate all that stress and any questions that you have lingering. Dr. Burt, would you like to just do a quick welcome?
Yes, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I mean, I sat in these seats, not these seats, but seats like this 10 and 11 years ago for my own children. So the idea that it's an exciting time, and the time will go quickly. So enjoy these moments with your senior so that you can experience it together with them, and all the different things that are going to happen over the next few weeks. We're excited, and we just want to make sure that they get to the finish line. So we can't lose sight of the academic piece. There are grades still to be earned. There are finals to be taken in some cases. So we just make sure that we're getting everybody across the finish line in a good, positive way. And monitoring behavior too, because graduation is a privilege to attend. You don't have to. And we would be having conversation if there's issues about not participating, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to have a great positive experience, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about senior prom because that's on the horizon. We have with us class advisor Meg Grillo. Star Jefferson was out in the foyer as well. They're going to briefly talk to you about that night if your child chooses to participate in that activity. Meg Grillo.
Oh, hi. Okay, so prom tickets go on sale this coming week. So what did I just say? 11th through the 15th. They'll be on sale during the LBs. If your child is bringing a guest from another school, they have already picked up the form, or should have already picked up the form from me. They're either in my classroom or Miss Jeff's classroom. Most kids have come and got them if they need them. Their school will have to fill that out. If there's any kind of circumstance you're unsure of, they can just ask us and we'll ask them and figure it out. They can buy their tickets for $90 cash, or we're going to try an online service this year that they've done for a couple other dances, and it'll be $95 if you're going to pay that way. If there's any kind of extenuating circumstance or anything, just please reach out to Ms. Jefferson or myself, and we can take that, as it comes. What else did you need to talk about? Senior Sunset. You have that in your packet. Sorry. There we go. Senior Sunset is June 11th on the turf at 7 o'clock. The kids will bring blanket or beach towel or whatever they want to do. We'll have snacks and outside games. Yearbooks, yeah, they can sign their yearbooks. Mr. Softy will be there for your children to pay for Mr. Softy, as if it was in the neighborhood, but it's not. I think that's all I can think of. Okay? Thank you.
Just two quick things about prom that we always get asked questions about. We do check when they buy their ticket. We're going to see lots of talking about obligations. That's like our first checkpoint, is when they buy a prom ticket. It'll mostly be if they miss a textbook from like freshman, sophomore, junior year, or if they're missing a library book. Later on, we'll talk about other obligations they can have. So they're going to want to start clearing anything of Cherry Hill West property that they may still have in their car, in their backpack. I'll talk about how you can check that in a second, but that's part of prom buying tickets. Also, another question we get is, when can they leave the dance? Believe it or not, sometimes they're there for 20 minutes. They paid $90 and they want to know when they can leave. The dance goes until 10. They're going to have an absolute blast, but they can leave, the earliest they can leave is 9:30. So just for your peace of mind, you know where they are. We do not let them leave until 9:30. The dance ends at 10 o'clock at Lucian's. Yeah, new ballroom. Beautiful. we do have in the second page, you'll see we have just kind of the running list of events of all things to come. That's kind of like your, oh wait, where is it? That's towards the end. This is like your quick sheet senior events. We try to have things that are in school, things that are not in school. This is the rundown. This is your basics of everything. Times, where they are, dates. Things are always somewhat written in pencil, but this should be pretty solid. Nothing should really change. Sunset would maybe weather depending, but we really don't have a rain date yet. But we can make that up as it comes along. So you can run through and see what's going on in the next month.
I have to chime in. Field day is next on the agenda, just to keep things moving. We are hosting, we attempted last year to have a school-wide field day, rained on the rain date, so it was canceled. Our goal is to make this happen this year. Our fingers are crossed. It's gonna be a phenomenal community building activity. Ms. Coffey and I have been doing a lot this year. That will not be senior specific, but it will be a great day. So please encourage your senior, if they leave early, interns are over, they can stay and participate. If they have to get their work cleared, I think it'd be a great day to join in and be a lion.
Okay, so we're gonna jump. The main thing here is talking about graduation. So one of the main things that students are obligated to come to is a 2 graduation practice. These are really important. One, just to make sure everyone knows where they're sitting, but in the Leah Center, it's an absolutely beautiful event. But all eyes are on them, and we want them to look good. We want their procession in to look good, their standing and their sitting to look good, and that takes graduation practice. One of the main things we practice at practice is how to pronounce their names. We go through every student's names, they walk along the stage, we pronounce it, and if they get it wrong, they go meet with the name readers. We take this part very serious. This is a big moment for you, it's a big moment for them, and so most of the practice is making sure we have everyone's name correctly. Some students don't want their middle names read, some want their middle names read, so we make sure we have it right for every single person. So attendance is very important at this event, also just to get the flow of how to move. So those 2 days are mandatory. So we tell them as soon as we know to cancel, rearrange work if they need it. Also rides. Transportation is gonna be on them to get here, carpool, help each other out. So the times are 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock on Monday, the June 15th. And the 16th will be 7:30 to 10. We know 7:30 feels very early for them when they've mentally been done. However, that is the same day as the clap out. The clap out is at 10:30. That is an optional event for the students to attend. So we want to give them time to transition into that's a really sweet event for those students that went to elementary here in Cherry Hill to return back and go through the halls one last time. I want to talk about, yeah, okay, we'll go through it. So this idea of an obligation. So there is a QR code that takes you to an Excel spreadsheet created by the smarter than me math teacher here, who'd made it so that I have a document through our office that has every student's obligation. That could even be now capping down for $30, a library book, a textbook, an athletic uniform from a previous team. When you scan this QR code, it takes you into an Excel or a Google Sheets. There's a space where it says search and you're supposed to put in your ID number. If you put in your student's ID number and just hit enter, it'll populate anything that they're missing. If they're not missing anything, it will just do like reference, like REF, REF, REF. That means they have nothing. If they're missing it, it tells them exactly the title of the book. It tells them how much the book is. If they can't find that book in the back of their closet, in the back of their car, and you can find it cheaper on Amazon than you can for what is being charged them, by all means order it on Amazon and bring it. The library just wants that book back. Yeah, so that's the next one. Another big thing that we won't do until June 10th is the technology. They can start returning their Chromebooks and their charger or any other technological device maybe your student was given from the district. I believe it will be June 2nd, but we're going to check that date as some things have changed. Yes, I need to find the cord. Last year we had kids running, searching for a cord. Those cords go missing all the time. Again, I think they charged last year, it was $45. Yeah, it was $45 for the cord if they did not have it. Again, check on Amazon. At the end of the day, we just want a cord to go along with their computer. So that's why these obligations we let you know now, because you can find alternate ways to pay a cheaper price to replace Cherry Hill's information. My other thing I'm gonna say, we're gonna first check in at prom. If they have books this year, teachers have not turned in their book obligations yet. So that list will continue to change. June 10th is the big day. June 10th is a really big day, and we are purposely moving it a little bit further from our practice so that students have a whole beautiful weekend to take all the pictures that they want in their cap and gowns. So they will get it on Thursday, June 10th. They cannot get their cap and gown until every single obligation is cleared. Anything that they owe to us, not me, doesn't go to me at all, to the school district, has to be cleared in order to get that cap and gown. This cap and gown bag, it looks just like this, it's adorable, has in it the following things. Their cap and gown, which we already have their sizes from August, we collected it. You get 3 discounted parking passes. Typically parking at the Leah Core Center, $22, $24, somewhere around there, it changes every year. We are giving each family 3 discounted tickets you get to go in for $14. If you need more cars, fine, but that's what we can give discounted prices for. Approximately. Now, we told the students this in their meeting. If your family only needs 1 or 2 of the discounted parking tickets, you can absolutely pass them to another family that needs more. They're not assigned specifically, it's just a number allotted per student to be equal. So if you need one and you know another family that's not needing one, or you have an extra and you'd like us to have it and we'll give it to somebody else, feel free to do that. We just want more people to come to celebrate. So that's absolutely allowed to happen. Every student gets 10 graduation tickets. One of the glorious things about doing it at the Leah Core Center is we can have as many tickets as we want. I think last year I had a student request 40 extra. I do not have 40 people that would ever want to come see me graduate, but that's awesome. So every kid will get 10. One of your QR codes in your packet is if you would like to request more than the 10 given to you, just name your number and we will put them in your bag. We just need to know, I've put a date in there. June 1st maybe? I don't know. I made up a date. When you have to let us know by, because my office will count them all out for every kid and we'll put them in every bag with a kid's name on it. So if you need it, May 31st, that sounds right. Just let us know. However many tickets you need, we are happy to give you. I'm just not going to give out extras if you don't need them. You can also, in that same Google Forms, if you have someone in your family that needs extra assistance or extra time to get to their seats, you can request, what do we call it, special assistance entrance. You get in 30 minutes before everybody else to find your seat. There is not specific like handicapped seating. There are certain areas that may have more room, which is why we give you 30 minutes extra. And one person in the family can accompany them. So you get someone with a special assistant tickets plus 1 to help them get there if they need it. Now there really is no preferential seating because your preference will be someone else's not preference. It all depends on where your kid is. So once we start graduation practice, your student will be able to tell you exactly where they are going to be on that floor of the gym. So then you'll just kind of seat yourselves according to that. But 30 minutes beforehand, which is 9:30, right? The doors open at 10, so 9:30 special assistants can enter. I do recommend giving yourself plenty of time when driving to the Leah Core Center. It's a Thursday morning, but it's going to be, there's traffic, it's busy, so just take that in mind. Students always ask us, what time should I make my lunch reservation? I would say, we said safely 3. No later, like maybe no earlier than 3. When we're leaving, East is arriving. It's a little bit crazy getting out of there. You're gonna wanna take pictures. So just keep those dates and times in mind. Give yourself extra time. You don't wanna miss anything. And you don't wanna be rushing to get to a reservation if you're doing dinner. So those are just 2 timelines we advise for people. Also in the graduation bag, some of the clubs, we're going to talk about this also, get club cords or stoles. They will be in the students' bags already. Any extra things, some clubs or teachers may have awards. We're going to put the extra senior trip pictures that we have. So there might be other goodies in the bag as well. This is always a sad song. Per board policy, students cannot decorate their caps. However, we always advise, once again, go visit Amazon.com and order an extra one if they really want to decorate one. And you get your cap and gown 4 days before, no, a whole week before graduation. Take all the pictures you want with a really cool decorated cap. However, once we get into graduation, if we see one, we are required to take them out. I tell the students, one reason I'm in support of this, is because when they throw their caps at the end, they're all throwing it at the end and they just go everywhere. For them to find their actual cap they spent tons of time on would be really hard to do. So in the end, they just grab random caps and then we quickly usher them out of the building. And oh man, I added it after. In addition, clubs, honor societies have already run through our office, have had them for years, or some new ones have been added, specific stoles or cords that align themselves with something they did at NHS, Art Society, Salvatorians have their little medals. So they can only wear things that have run through our office and are approved. Once again, if there are very specific things that your student has ordered, would like to wear in representation of themselves, that is great, but they just can't wear them to graduation. Take pictures all week long beforehand with whatever they would like. Bring them during the ceremony. Afterwards, outside, a Temple Leah course outside, take all the pictures you want once again. But we're going to be very specific about making sure the students come out on the floor wearing things that we have just approved to be worn. Another very important person to the right of me. Mr. Aaron Burt, class vice principal. That's few words.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Aaron Burt, the assistant principal. I had the senior class this year, but I wanted to welcome everybody tonight. This is a joyous time for your pride and joys. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Have fun with them. Any questions you guys have about this entire process, call them. They'll be the greatest assistants throughout this time. But it's been a pleasure just being a part of the process of their four-year journey here at West. And if I can always help them with anything else, I'm always here. But any questions, you guys can call me as well. But you want real answers, call them. But thank you, and thank you for trusting us with your children, your young adults now. They've been a pleasure. There's always ebbs and flows when it comes to success. So hopefully, when they were in the 9th grade, they're a lot different than they are now. And I hope we've been a part of that process. And at this time, cherish it, because it'll be something they'll remember, for the rest of their life. They don't know it now, but let them understand that they're never going to forget this time. Every moment they enjoy. I mean, when it comes to the signing of the yearbooks, the senior sunset, everything. Let them cherish these moments and have a great time. And let's enjoy the day. And June 18th is my birthday. It's my 55th. So I can kind of walk. Yeah, so let all of them know when they come to the Leah Course Center, if they have something in their pockets to hand to me that day. All right, guys, have a good night.
Just like, I love it. Okay, a couple quick things as I'm looking through it. I just want to remember from past meetings. Attire, dressing. So everyone is in purple gowns since the last 2 to 3 years. If you do have a graduate that graduated in the last 2 to 3 years, they can absolutely reuse that cap and gown, and they don't have to buy one. So if you had a sibling that graduated last year, you don't want 2 purple gowns in your closets. If you would like to use that again, just let us know and we'll adjust that for you. And what they wear underneath is we just ask no jeans, no sweatpants. Sneakers are now, we used to say no sneakers, but sneakers are now cool. So if they're not sure if their sneakers are nice enough, they can show us a picture or show us in school and be like, yeah, those are so fine. But just nothing that's crazy athletic looking. It's a nice event. They've worked hard to get here. You've worked hard to get here. So we want them to represent that. But it used to be girls had to wear white dresses. It doesn't have to be that way. Look nice, whatever you want them to wear. Yeah, we should probably, especially if you like that. Just a couple quick other things that I saw. Just on the day of graduation, they must take the bus over with us. And that time on that morning that they have to be at the theater is very important. Miss Nick and I will not be at the theater. Teachers will be running that. We will already be setting up graduation, so they must be there so that teachers can check them in. We do not provide transportation back. They have graduated. They are no longer ours. You have to take them with you. So we provide, they must ride the bus over to graduation, and then we will say our farewells. So we just want to make sure that's very clear. We don't provide any buses back for our graduates. Something that we are doing new this year is, in past, if you had a previous graduate, when they get their diploma on stage, it's not in there. So we just do it because we don't want anyone to get them mixed up. When they have previously come to their seats, they would be dismissed, and they could pick it up in this very hard to identify room in the front of Leah Core Center. It's also very busy. Or they could pick it up in the guidance department anytime after that. We're just finding that there's just so many diplomas left over year after year. So East tried it last year and it was a success, so we're gonna roll it over, is that when a student sits in their row, there's a teacher assigned on the other side. When they walk across the stage and come back to their seats, the teacher that's assigned to their row will pass them their diplomas. So by name. The only reason a student would not receive their diploma, they'll receive an envelope that says, you can get your diploma when you return your NHS stall, when you return your DECA. So there's some kids that will have obligations. However, that's a smaller amount than the entire student body. Right at the back where they enter in, which will be a very obvious spot, either us two or Ms. Shivers, our secretary, will be standing there with their diplomas, and they'll just hand us their stalls and we'll give them their diploma. So we're hoping that everyone leaves there that day, that we'll only have a select few that would need to come to guidance. So if National Honor Society, DECA, I don't think so. I think it might just be those two. So they'll know come thing, but the idea is everyone gets it when they sit back at their seat. The other QR code I just want to talk about in here, we started this 2 years ago before our graduation practice. It was super helpful. I read names, and you care so much. Miss Nick did it last year. I spent my entire Memorial Day weekend at my parents' house just listening to recordings. You don't want to mess it up. It's a lot of pressure. And so if they scan this bottom QR code on the page, they can go in, you can go in, type exactly what their names can be, and they can record themselves saying their name nice and slow. My name readers, our name readers, will get that 2 weeks ahead of time. They're going to know around which kids they're going to have, and they can listen to it over and over again. There is also a spot where you can spell it phonetically. Or coffee, you don't really need coffee, but you can just spell it out as much as you need to help our name readers, and it will also help practice go a lot faster if we have it ahead of time, as Ms. Nick did it last year. Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything. Are there any questions? No, it's a great question, and we get it every year. It's one of those things that's true. So believe it or not, the Leah Core Center, which streams basketball games all season long, to stream it, it's about, I want to say $15,000, wasn't it? It's insane. We're not paying that to do it. So it is recorded. As soon as we can record it, we cannot live stream it. So as soon as the recording is made available, which is very shortly after, Mr. Gorlick, do you remember? I want to say it's about a week or 2 weeks after. I will send it out via West Broadcast for you to have the link, but it's not live streamed, unfortunately. And okay, the reason we say flat is because once again, they're single walking across that stage. They have to go upstairs, they have to go downstairs. If they want to wear heels, they don't listen. They're all going to wear heels, and one, they make a loud little noise when they go by, and two, it just makes us nervous them going down the stairs. No one wants to be that person. So at their own risk, we recommend flatter shoes. This is our thought. One thing just to keep in consideration, it's a super exciting event. We're going to tell our name readers to be really conscientious about pacing. Just remember, have all the excitement that you want for your own kid. Just remember there's a kid coming after them. So just make sure keep it to a minimum so that we can keep the program going and announce the next name. We'll try to pause so that everyone can have their moment. There's a few of them we got to get through. Any other questions? So you'll just request it through the Google Forms. We'll just put the however many you request, the tickets in the bags, and then you just show up the Leah Court. The temple provides their own workers for these events. Temple people are the ones that are letting you in. It is temple security. So they'll be the ones. As long as you have our pass that says early entrance, you're in. Yep, that's all you need. It's on the same one for extra tickets.
There's 4 QR codes on the one page.
Extra graduation ticket request. It's on that one. Upon entry. So Leah Course is just part of their security. There will be metal detectors, part of it's their whole security team. They are the ones that are in charge of that. They do, again, we're the first one. East will be eagerly, we actually have different setups. So they will be eagerly changing setup for East graduation. So students will not be allowed to linger on the floor, nor are you guys allowed to come to the floor. They can just go meet you out in that main area to get moving through day. Yeah, they probably are going to, and you can have as many as you want, so request them for any children. They're all free. Take 10 more. Why not? Just throw them away when you're done. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, and on the ticket itself, it says the exact parking garage, and you'll just put that in your GPS, and it'll take you right there. Yes, so graduation, our Laura's photography, he will be there in the same place, and you can find all their, I don't remember off the top of my head. There's one website, it'll have all the pictures on there for purchase. And they take one of every.
Picture of every child as they cross the stage.
Mhm.
Yep.
The seating is, so if this is the graduation stage, there are two sections, 15 kids. They're going to tell you. So kids will know once we do graduation practice. For the most part, they're alphabetical. On stage will just be our speakers, our Board of Ed reps, and our valedictorians are on stage. But everyone else should be more or less. Sometimes it varies, but more or less it's alphabetical. Yeah, they'll know.
Exactly.
We actually say that at graduation. Remember where you are.
Any questions, call us.
Yeah, we can tell where they sit. Any other questions? If you think of anything, don't hesitate to email us at any point at Student Activities or Ms. Shivers, our secretary. It's a busy time of year. We know it's a lot of things. Definitely recommend visiting the PTA on your way out. Follow them on Instagram because they're constantly posting. There's signs, there's balloons, and there's Project Graduations, 3 really great things that they run. 10 o'clock.
Burns, 10, right, Burns?
No, for
Project.
Project Graduation. 10 p.m. on graduation. Here, yep, here at the high school. If not, have an awesome night. Thank you so much for coming.